Hey everybody, well, I thought I would do a video for you of my breathing exercises. I have COVID, I am in quarantine, as you can hear. I'm still quite stuffy and still dealing with a lot of this, but being a vocalist and a vocal teacher all of my life and teaching since 1991, lung health is really important to me, and breathing exercises have been a part of what I've done forever. Also, my father had COPD, so I helped him through that for decades. And my sister passed away at 65 years old from stage 4 lung cancer. So breathing and care of the lungs is really paramount to what I do and who I am. And feeling the effects of what COVID did to me and to my lungs and to my breathing, I know how important getting your lungs back functioning as quickly as possible is. Now, I did spend a few days doing absolutely nothing. Of course, it hit me pretty hard, and I just had to rest. But as soon as I could, I started doing breathing exercises. Now, a couple of things, just as you're breathing, you might want to, if you're not a singer and you haven't taken any lessons, you might want to watch in a mirror, because a lot of people, when you do an inhale, you tend to inhale from the shoulders and you tend to do something like that. What you really want to do is you really want to expand the rib cage and the stomach down here. So you want to, as you're breathing in, you want to see this go out. So you want to go that way, and you see everything push out on me. If I stand sideways, and it goes in when you exhale and you inhale, everything gets big down here. That's a more efficient way to breathe and actually get the air into the lungs. As you also maybe noticed, if you can, and you hear I'm still super stuffy, but you want to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth if you can. That's more efficient use of the body. So what we're going to do is, I always try and start with just even sitting. You can do these exercises also lying in bed, you can do them sitting down, you can do them standing, you can do, one of my favorite ones I'm going to show you today is my walking exercise. But what I want you to do is always double your exhale as you start to breathe. So if you breathe in on a count of 3, you want to exhale on a count of 6. So inhale through the nose. You want to make sure that you are, and I've raised my shoulders a little bit, it's a little hard to get air in still. I'm still struggling with this. Like I said, I know how this feels now, at least how it felt to me, and it really, it hit my lungs in a pretty big way. So I'm doing lots of breathing exercises, because breathing is a way to help rehab the lungs and help keep your lungs going and help get all of this mucus and stuff out. So, that's the first thing that I would do, and you can do a few minutes of that, you can do 30 seconds of that, you can do that while you're sitting, you can walk around and do it. If 3 is too easy, you go to 4 and out with 8. You want to get all the air out though on the exhale, right? So you want to make sure that you're getting all of that air out, and you don't want to do what I just did, which is try and lift here again. This is making everything more difficult, right? We're struggling to get air in and out. It's not quite as easy. So that's the first one. Another one that you can do is just simply basic singer breathing exercise, is to inhale and hold your breath. And you would want to do like a count or a stopwatch on your phone, and just hold as long as you can. Now, the big deal about this is, again, you want to make sure you're stretching down here. If you have trouble feeling the rib cage move in and out, because the lungs are inside the rib cage, right? And if you don't let your rib cage move, you really can't expand the lungs as much as you need to. So a good way to feel that is just to take your arms out to your sides here, and as you inhale, take your arms all the way up over your head, and as you exhale, bring them down. You'll feel the rib cage expand and come back into its normal resting position when you do that. You should. So if you go like this, and then exhale, you feel the rib cage move. Another really good way to feel a proper breath is just to lie flat on your back on the floor, on your couch, in bed, whatever, and you will see that the abdomen rises and falls. As you inhale, it will rise, and as you exhale, it will come back. So belly button moves away from the spine on your inhale, and it moves towards the spine on your exhale. Okay, so those are really good, efficient ways for the body to breathe and get fully oxygenated. Okay, so you want to hold the breath. The most important thing again here is the release of the breath. So when you are doing this, you don't want to hold so long that you have to like just expel the air, like, and then you gasp sort of for air. So be aware of, okay, I'm running out of time, running out. I should cut a few seconds early. And take a few normal breaths. Also, please remember that if you ever get lightheaded during these exercises, please sit down. You can always shake out your arms. That'll use up the extra oxygen. You can resume these if you feel normal, or you can not do them and come back to them at some point later in the day, right? Another great exercise is to just simply blow out in a short burst of air. So you want to inhale through the nose, and again, if you watch my abdomen, I'm doing the work from down here, not raising, not doing that. So I'm doing the work from down here. So I inhale, and you can do those 2 or 3 times. You can do them however many times you want. Again, if you feel lightheaded because you're moving a lot of air, stop. It's kind of fun. All of these things really replace there's a lot of gadgets that you can buy. This thing is from my respiratory therapist when I had my hip surgery, to inhale, to really be sure that you're inhaling a lot. You don't need any of this stuff. These exercises are great. I do like this little thing though. It's called the breather, and it has little dials that dial in tension. Right? So you breathe in and you have to pull harder, and you exhale and you have to push harder. But here's a hack that you don't have to have one of these things. They're super cheap. You can run them on Amazon, but you don't have to have that. You can inhale through just check your teeth. Be careful especially if you're a singer, that you're not locking your jaw, right? But you can just inhale through the teeth. Make sort of that S sound, and it offers a little bit of resistance. So you have to pull a little bit harder and push a little bit harder. This is a good thing because it doesn't quite lock the jaw down as much sometimes for singers. Divers use this. I dive too, so it's kind of fun. But a good way to do that exhale is to take any sheet of paper, like my set list, and fold it in half. And the thing that you want to do with this is you want to set it on something that's like face level, because you want to aim your air at the middle of the paper, right? So if I was going to set it on something like my speaker that's in front of me, I could set it there, and I would move the head, and if I just wanted to blow it over, I would just inhale, and that would have gone right over. So that would have been too easy, right? So I would set that thing up and take a step back. Again, really be careful when you're doing all of these, because this can really make you lightheaded. Okay, so my favorite exercise, so there's a couple of normal exercises. Again, start with the counting, and you can do these 2 or 3 times during the day. I find that even as I'm just walking around the house, I can do these exercises, and I'm always, this week I've been amazed at just, I think I'm clear, and then I do a few breathing exercises, and I bring, stuff up from my lungs. My favorite exercise is walking exercise, and I love to do this outside. It challenges me. I usually do my singing practice while I'm walking. I used to do all of this while I was running, but my surgeon, since the hip surgery, has forbade me to run. So I now do all of this outside when I'm walking. So if you're in my neighborhood and you hear me singing or whatever, I'm probably learning lyrics or practicing breathing or practicing something like that. what I do is I start with, there's a pattern to this. It's a 1, 4, 2, 1 pattern. And what I mean by that is that you will inhale for a count of 4. You will hold your breath for a count of 16. You will exhale all of your air for a count of 8. And then you don't breathe back in and you hold empty for a count of 4. And then you repeat the cycle if you can. Now again, you can do this standing still, okay? And you can like snap your counts out, or if you feel up to it, you can use your steps as counts. I'm in my slippers, so you can hear my little slippers on my floor. Or if you're outside, clearly it gets even harder if you are using your steps. If you're going up a hill, that makes it even that much more difficult, which, I think is cool and pushes you a little bit. So as you inhale, I'm going to do this once for you, and you can do multiple times. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. 4 is too hard. You can go down to 3, 12, 6, and 3. If 4 is too easy, you could go up to 5, 20, 10, and 5. You see the pattern? It's like times by 1, times by 4, times by 2, times by 1. So you can really adjust however you want to go. Like I said, sometimes I can do this multiple times in a row. Sometimes I can't. Today I did a couple in a row, and that was all I could do. But I got stuff out of my lungs. I moved. I breathed. It was good. So anyway, I'm gonna do one for you. So a count of 4. I'm gonna use my steps. So it's and then breathe normally if you need to. So those are a few things that are really helpful to me. Disclaimer here, I am not a medical doctor. I am a voice teacher and a vocalist for a very long time. My stepdaughter is a doctor, so I have a lot of up-to-date information on all of this, but I've been teaching these exercises and doing these things, and really, like I said, involved in healthy lung function for a very long time. A lot of people in my life have had difficulty with this, and of course, being a singer and a vocalist and a vocal teacher, it's near and dear to my heart. So I'm not a medical doctor. If you have COVID or any other lung disease, please go get checked. If you have more questions, if any of this didn't make sense, please DM me and I'd be happy to share anything else that I know with you. If you have COVID like me right now, continue to rest, drink lots of fluids, and do your breathing exercises, because it's going to help clear all of this stuff from your body. All right, thanks. Hope this helps. Bye.